Thank you for choosing to watch this video. My question today is the sport of Formula One in trouble? And for me, the answer is yes. And here's why. Now, I have to look back many years ago. I remember when I was setting my computer password, and one of the security questions asked is, what is your ideal profession? And I said, to be a Williams Formula One driver. And I remember when I said, I would love to work for Formula One, no matter the position, for free. Because many years ago, I remember Michael Schumacher's umbrella guy, the guy that is now what Angela is to Lewis Hamilton, the guy that held the umbrella when Michael Schumacher was sitting in the grid under the sun. He's the only guy that resembled me today. The only guy before Lewis Hamilton that was on the grid was Michael Schumacher's umbrella man. I'm sorry, but I don't know his name. I remember when I dreamt of having a channel that would air Formula One 24 hours a day. This is many years ago, meaning from 1997 when I started watching Formula One. So today, Christian Spice cites mental health problems for team members as a result of allegation of cheating. He went on to say it is worrying that there was a leak of the budget cap breach by a team, and he says it must be investigated. Now, in my opinion, leadership is the issue at Formula One. The sport is too good a sport and too technical for fans like myself to one day, as today, feel like the sport is completely changed from Abu Dhabi on. Just imagine the following statement. Christian Spice Horner said, after the budget cap decision from the FIA, that he will not agree or state that he is indeed guilty. However, I paraphrase, for the benefit of the sport, Red Bull will go ahead and write a check for $7 million. I don't know if you follow business, but there is a company called Aramco, which is a Saudi Arabian company. Last quarter, they made $41.6 billion. The quarter before, they made $48 billion. Quarter is, 90 days or 3 months. $48 billion is the most profit a company has ever made in the history of the market. In the history. Now I ask you a question. Aramco, a publicly held company, would not pay out 1 penny if they didn't seem that it's deemed necessary or liable. Why would Red Bull honestly say to everyone, fans, media, that yes, we will agree to give you $7 million, $7 million, but we're not guilty? This is the issue. And it's not about Red Bull. It's certainly not about Max Verstappen. It's about the leadership. In every business decision, it was clear that what the FIA needed to do is to say to Red Bull, after you've been given 1 year, 2020, to rehearse every single step. Red Bull is not Sauber, is not Williams. Has one of the biggest brains and the most money in the sport of Formula One, like Mercedes and like Ferrari. If the other teams did not make the mistakes, Red Bull shouldn't have made those quote-unquote mistakes. What the FIA should have done, and knowingly know they should have done, is to say to Red Bull, we will not agree with a settlement unless you agree that you indeed violated the process. I'm avoiding the word guilty, but you should at least say, we were wrong, therefore we are responsible to pay the $7 million. You cannot say you were not wrong, you didn't do anything wrong, but yet you will go ahead and agree to give us $7 million. Saudi Aramco of Saudi Arabia wouldn't give 1 penny, and they made $48 billion last quarter. It doesn't make sense. Absolutely no sense. When Christian is looking for apologies When Christian is complaining about his drivers being booed, it reminds me of when I was 5, 6, 7 years old. And every one of us would remember when you were 6, 7, 5 years old. You do something wrong, you get caught by your parents, or your parents came home and found you done something wrong. You know you've been caught, and you change the story. It's called distraction. Nothing is worse in sport or any organization that's credible when the truth is shortcoming. This is not WWE. Formula One has the biggest brains. With all due respect, the average Formula One follower is highly educated. Highly educated. It's not a WWE where you're watching it knowing, at least when I was growing up, that this is indeed more of a play than a sport. This is not it. If the sport has any feature, it needs to stay to what it is, what is done best. The FIA from 1860, as I mentioned previously, in my opinion, needs changing. From 1860 to the last three, from Balest to Jean Todt to Max Mosley to what we have today, Mohammed Bin Sulayem, every single time there's been change, it's been just a friend passing the torch to another one. Every single time, it's more like, I've served enough, I've served to my maximum limit, and now let me pass it on to the next one. I said on a previous video, the FIA is 60 million members strong. It requires a talented leadership, a well-rounded, well-educated, well-tested. In my opinion, a bachelor's degree, 4 years in business does not suffice. Problem lies in the leadership. You can't blame Red Bull, Max Verstappen. Yes, you can if you want to, but it's because it's permitted that the issue lingers.